All right, this is unit 14A. We're going to take unit 14 and we're going to split it into two different parts, okay? So unit 14A will have two topics. Unit 14B, will have two topics, okay? Your quiz over the first two topics is in 1 week on Wednesday. So my warm-up says to factor. Factor means you either take out a GCF or you make an eye chart. Those are your only two options. So problem number 1. Can I make an eye chart with problem number 1? Yes or no? Can I make an eye chart with problem number 1? Why not? There's not even an x squared. So that means all I can do is take out a GCF. What do these two have the same? 3. So I'm going to take out a 3. And when I take out a 3, what will be left over? X plus what? X plus 9. 3 times 9 gives me the 27. Okay. Questions on number 1? Okay, let's go to number 2. Can I make an eye chart on number 2? Why not? There's not even a number. Like, remember, you have to have all 3 terms to make me an eye chart, which means all I can do is get a GCF. 14 and 28. What number do they have the same? What can I divide them both by? 14. You can't use 2. That's not the greatest. 14. What else do they have the same? X. So when I take a 14x out of 14x squared, what will be left over? X. What is 28x divided by 14x? Plus 2. Okay. Last one, x squared minus x minus 6. Can I make an eye chart for that? How do you know? I do have all 3, but what else do you have to make sure of before you can make an eye chart? What's important about this x squared? It has to be by itself. So when I make my eye chart, what number goes at the top? -6. And what goes at the bottom? -1. Okay. So -6 is at the top and -1 is at the bottom. Am I adding or subtracting? I'm subtracting right there. It tells me I'm subtracting. Okay, so what numbers can I subtract to get -1? 2 minus 3. So in my first parenthesis is x plus 2. And in my second parenthesis is x minus 3. Questions? This is what we are doing for a whole month. If you cannot do this, you have to start coming to tutorials. You have to use extended third period wisely. You have to practice during your incline. You have to practice after school at home. You've got to know how to do this. I'm not trying to be rude when I say this, but there is zero way you will pass if you cannot find a GCF or factor. Everybody hear me say that? Okay. Okay, so let's go do what we are actually going to learn. We are going to learn how to simplify rationals. A rational just means fractions with letters. That's the easiest way to explain it. A rational means fractions with letters. Okay. So topic 1 is all about simplifying, taking big fractions and making them as small as we can. So your directions are just going to say simplify. So in order to simplify, I'm going to have to look for a GCF. I'm going to have to factor or make eye charts. And I'm always going to have to simplify my fractions or reduce, simplify/reduce. So like I can't have 10/5 because that can be reduced, okay? So today we are going to try 4 problems, and then on Friday, we're going to make those problems a little bit harder. So if you do not understand where a number I say comes from, you need to be brave and you need to stop and ask, okay? All right, so here we go. First example is going to say 15 x to the 6th over 9x to the 3rd. If you can do this without writing it out, then you're welcome to, okay? But let's break it down all the way. I have a 15. What does x to the 6th mean? There's 6 x's. So for right now, I'm going to write them. If you don't need to write them, you don't have to, okay? And then on the bottom, I have a 9 with 3 x's. What can happen to some of those x's? How many can cross out? 3 of them can cross out. Now, here's what else I have though. I have a 15 divide by 9. What can I divide those both by? So I'm going to divide by 3. What is 15 divided by 3? 5. How many x's are still on top? So how do I write that? X cubed over, what is 9 divided by 3? 3. Do I have any x's on the bottom? So this is as simplified or as small as my fraction can get. Okay. Let's go do another one. Number 2. It's going to say 140 a to the 3rd b over 60 ab squared. So let's expand it. Let's write it out if we need to. I have 140. How many a's are on top? 3. How many b's? 1. And in my denominator, I have 60 with 1 a and 2 b's. So let's cancel out letters first. What can I cancel out? I can cancel out 1a. What else can I cancel? 1b. Freeze and look. You can only cancel if they're the exact same. I can't cancel all 3 of these. It can only cancel with 1, okay? 140 and 60, what can I divide them both by? Huh? I can do 2, I can do 4, I can do 10, I can do 20, I can pick any of those numbers. Let's just say 10 is what we thought of first. So I'm going to divide by 10. What is 140 divided by 10? 14. How many a's are on top? So that'd be a squared. Are there any b's on top? Nope. So let's go to the denominator. What is 60 divided by 10? 6. What else is there? A b. Now, is this my final answer? Why not? I can simplify. So let's simplify again. What can I divide it by? By 2. So if I divide by 2, what will be on top? 7 what? A squared. And what will be in my denominator? 3b. Can this simplify anymore? No. So there would be my final answer. So just because you divide once doesn't mean you can't keep dividing to get to the final answer. Okay? All right, we're going to go make them one step harder. So here's our next problem. Number 3 is going to say 3x minus 12. I'm going to divide by 3x squared minus 12x. These look very similar. Can I start canceling 3's and 12's? Why not? Okay, so number 1, they don't look exactly the same. But more importantly, and I hope you're listening here, that 3x is connected. You're not paying attention to me. This 3x is connected. What is it connected to? It's connected to that 12. Thank you. It's connected to this 12 with the negative sign. Okay, so I can't simplify those. I can't cross things out because it has a connection. So I need to do the top and the bottom separately. So just looking at the top, I have a 3x minus 12. Is there a GCF I can take out of that? What can I take out? A 3. and I need to know what's left over. So if I divide both of these by 3, what will be left over? X minus 4. Very good. Now let's do the denominator. First, look at numbers. I have a 3 and a 12. What can I divide those both by? 3. What else do they have exactly the same? An X. And I need to know what's left over. So 3x squared, if I take out a 3x, what will be left over? X. Negative 12x, if I divide or take out my 3x, what will be left over? Negative 4. Ooh, now look what is exactly the same. So that x is attached to the 4, but it's together in parentheses. Is there another x attached to a 4 exactly like it? So the parentheses can cancel out the whole things, which leaves me with 3 over 3x. What do I notice can happen there? I can divide them both by 3. So what is 3 divided by 3? 1 over, what is 3x divided by 3? I don't know why my pen changed colors there. What is in the denominator? X. So my answer is 1 over x. Okay. All right, we're going to try one more. Number 4 is going to say 8x cubed minus 16x squared divided by 4x squared minus 8x. Can I start canceling right now? No, because they're attached with the subtraction sign. I want you to see if you can go find your GCF and what's left over. So really quick, go see on the top if you can find your GCF and what's left over. If you need help, raise your hand. We can come by and help you real quick before we write the answers on there. So just look at the top, find a GCF. What can I take out of 8 and 16? And then look at the bottom. What can I take out of 4 and 8? Don't forget your letters. In my numerator, what number can I divide them both by? 8. How many x's do they have the same? So x squared. And what will be left over? X minus 2. And my denominator, what number do they both have? 4. How many x's do they both have? So just an x. And what will be left over? Freeze. Is it always going to be the same? No. Will it be a lot of times? Yes. Always? No. Okay. Now, what do I notice right away can happen? I can cancel my big parentheses. So what I'm left with is 8x squared, which really means 2 x's. Divide by 4x. What do I notice can happen now? I can cancel my x out. And what can I do with 8 and 4? Divide by 2 or 4. Okay. What is 8x divided by 4? 2 what? X over what is 4 divided by 4? 1. So how would I write my final answer correctly? 2x. Very good. Okay. Questions? Okay, I am going to give you a packet. Look at the top of this packet. What does it say? Do not write on this. So where are you writing? In your notebook. Now, I have not taught you how to do all of these. See this x squared plus 9x plus 20? How do I factor that? By using what? An eye chart. We didn't do that today. That's what we're going to do on Friday. If you truly know how to do eye charts, then go ahead and try them. Okay, I am going to put this paper up here. All the ones with numbers on them are the ones we learned today. So 1 through 8, and then these random ones here are what I need you to do today. Are we on the same page? Okay. I really need you working. Some of you got to raise this grade in here after we took our last test. And your quiz over this is in 1 week.